here we are. What a very, very special night this is. Getting excited for what is the 25th Dickens Festival in 2021. We brought together a lot of great people. Allan, please introduce who's at the table for this great podcast tonight.
Okay. Well, why don't we just go around? That would be nice to hear everybody's voice rather than mine. I'm Allan Varella. I'm chair of the Greater Port Jefferson Northern Brookhaven Arts Council. Say that 3 times real fast. And I produce the Dickens Festival for the Village of Port Jefferson.
Thank you, Allan. No, I'm kidding. Mayor Garant. I've been the mayor now. This is my 13th year since 2009. So it's been a great honor to keep the tradition of Dickens alive and well and to co-produce the 25th annual Dickens. Can't do it without my friends around the table. Lisa?
I'm Lisa Seckler-Roode. I'm the secretary of the Greater Port Jefferson Northern Brookhaven Arts Council. I assist in setting up Artisan Square and all the artisans in it, as well as handle some of the press for the event.
I'm Terry Ryan. I've been involved with the Dickens Festival for some time now as a street character, and I help with getting the street characters ready for the event, and this will be our 25th year. Very exciting.
Yeah, Alex Tamuk, resident of Port Jefferson since 1985. I guess some 35 years or so. I've enjoyed the Dickens Festival for the 25 years. I volunteer to the Port Jefferson Arts Council and help them in any way I can with the Dickens Festival. It's a great joy and a great pleasure for me, and I think the community and anyone and everyone that shows up seems to enjoy it enormously.
It's good, thanks. So yes, as we've been saying, the 25th, we all know that last year we were COVID canceled, and this year we're bringing it back, and as I understand it, there is a lot of great enthusiasm that this is coming back because people really want to get out there, see the parades, see the street characters, go to the concerts, and and start living this wonderful festival again.
Yeah, and we have the Village of Port Jefferson. We already kind of feel the earth vibrating underneath our feet. We're decorating the village. Every street lantern is decorated with greens and lighting, and we've got some extra special decorations. And I agree with Allan. I think everybody's really looking forward to not just enjoying the village and its decorated style here, but the enthusiasm to come back for Dickens and just to be out in the street together, enjoying a nice Dickensian meal, some of the shows. Unfortunately, some of the venues are not available this year. Some of the churches are still a little hesitant to open up their doors, which is we deeply respect. But I'd say about 85% to 90% of the festival is still intact, which is great. And the Artisan's tent, actually, Lisa didn't give herself enough credit. She's actually a spinner.
I weave.
A weave, okay. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, it was a hobby that I had always wanted to try. And I got involved with a local medieval reenactment group. And my other half challenged me to try weaving. I'm now a fiber artist. I do weaving, I do knitting. In the Artisan's tent, we're going to have Raven's Wing Hattery that makes period bonnets. We're going to have embroiderers. We're going to have someone selling jams and jellies this year. And it's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. And we love the spirit of the festival, but there's more. The most exciting thing for us this year, as being part of the Artisans, we started an artist in residence award, recognizing local artists who bring joy to the community through whatever medium their art is. And we're honored to say that Candace Knight of Blackmore's Night, who was our first ever artist in residence, has agreed to come back to be in the festival as our Snow Queen again.
She's amazing.
internationally known lead singer and lyricist of Blackmore's Night. So we're thrilled.
That's great.
And it's giving back to the community, which doesn't get better.
Wonderful.
And the Artisan Square was thought of by the Arts Council's Amy Tuttle, and it started it off years ago. And what we wanted to do is bring something very Dickensian, because the stuff that the artisans do are based on 1850s technology, so you can actually see how people were doing things back then. So we think that's very important. And so the street characters and the children that volunteer, and we need everyone we can get. You two are very involved with them, so why don't you explain a little?
What shows we'll have this year. We're going to have Oliver again, and Oliver's evolved over the years. Oliver's Arrest. The mostly children in Oliver, and they work very hard. It's singing and it's choreographed with dancing, and they start meeting in August. They meet about 1 hour a week, and they still pull this together, and that's a great show. Don't miss that one. And then we are also going to be offering A Christmas Carol, our version of Christmas Carol, which is different than Theater 3's Christmas Carol. You know, our version is like a condensed 20-minute version. So we've been working on that, and we've got some great the three ghosts this year. They're great. They're great. We're going to do like an improv of Great Expectations. We have an actor coming out to do that. And we're going to do one more, and I can't think of the name of it, but we have four. We have four Dickensian. Not the Scrooge. There's one more. I'll think of it.
So these, the vignettes, they take place outside.
Oh, these are outdoors.
Yes.
Yeah, these are outdoors. Pretty much, we're going to use 2 or 3 stages for these performances. Pretty much close to, say, Chandler Square. The other one is the Frigate and over by Toast.
Great. So, you know, the festival is sort of concentric to downtown Port Chef.
Yeah.
You know, we do use the Village Center, which is where the ice skating rink is for some of the events, the indoor events. But it's nice when these, the street character actors and these
Come to
performances
life.
are outside.
Yeah.
Because you're strolling through and all of a sudden, hey, you catch Oliver on the corner, you know?
Yes.
And the kids do an exceptional, great job. I can't wait to
I
see them
love
again
the
this year.
Newsies. And,
Yeah.
and you can't miss our Chimney Sweeps. They are fantastic.
And
Joseph.
And one of the features of the street character plays is that 2 of the plays now, we could actually afford to buy in all battery-powered speakers. And
Audio.
Alex, why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I guess as a result of donations, either from individuals, corporations, and/or grants that are written, by the organization, there's some funds, although they tend to be scarce, and I'm surprised really, and I'm overwhelmed and shocked that that was such a fantastic job that the Arts Council does on what I think to be a shoestring of a budget. But thank God for the generosity of those that do contribute, to keep it going, and the equipment, of course, has its ups and downs. But it is good to have that additional volume with the microphones and the amps, so that the actors who put in so much time and effort can be heard and enrich the experience for anybody that's in the village.
And tell them about the volunteers, because you're training the kids to run the systems.
Yeah, these are high school students that, again, volunteers who help monitor the microphones and set up the mixer and, carry the equipment, cart the equipment, set up the actors with the gear that they need, and then synchronize
We're
it.
training
and so on.
Dickens roadies. Is that what's happening here? Dickens roadies. It's nice.
Yeah, it's fun. It's nice to again work with the high school students and have them participate.
We talk about equipment. One of my favorite things is the closing parade with our puppets.
Oh, the
Oh.
puppets.
You want to talk about a little bit of the robotics, Alan? You want to talk about the puppets and the closing
puppets,
parade?
when I first came on, when the Arts Council basically took over the production, in 2005, we inherited the puppets that were there for a while, but by that point, they were starting to get long in the tooth, maybe we'll say it that way. And yeah, they were in need of help. So after a year or two of that, the Kumsawag Mount Sinai Robotics Club put together 2 more versions of the puppets. So we did that, and then in 2019, my daughter Genevieve Varella and her boyfriend Vin Blangiardo, created these really spectacular, ghosty, gigantic, floating puppets, and I mean, worthy of Hollywood. That's what these are. And so they will be marching in the final parade along with the Longwood High School Marching Band.
And kick line and color guard.
Right, and that's about 150 people total?
Yes, we also, for the opening parade, have the Amityville Highlander Pipers.
Love those guys.
I love
There's
Piper.
nothing like this village this time of year. It's almost as if we emerged from Brigadoon and we're in the Victorian era, because people themselves come dressed in costume. We were talking about steampunk momentarily. You'll see residents from our community and surrounding communities all dress up, because it literally turns into the 1850s and 60s Dickensian times, and it's wonderful to see.
One of the favorite sounds is the horse and carriage clopping down the sidewalk and the street, you know, and the kids, you see the families
Yeah.
gathering, and it's,
Yeah.
you know, it's a nice thing to be able to do outside with the family, take a day, you know, and reflect on how lucky we are. I mean, when Charles Dickens was back in the day, you know, people were not as fortunate as we are. So, you know, talking of shoestring budgets, you know, the only way that we can actually produce this year after year is from the generosity of the donations that people make and the support of the Village of Port Jefferson and the Arts Council year-round. And we hope that we get that continued support, because without that support, this festival cannot go on. And there's a
Absolutely.
lot at stake.
And in addition to Artisan Square, we have Tiny Tim's train station coming back, and that's over in the Harbor Master building. So if you're into model trains, this is a gigantic setup of model trains. We have Santa's Workshop over on the corner of Barnum and West Broadway, and that's always a thrill. Free tickets on Eventbrite, so you'd have to go to the Port
Yeah.
Jefferson website and find the Dickens Festival, and
Yeah,
you'll find how to
we did
do
the
that.
Eventbrite just to keep everybody kind of safe and distanced instead of crowded on the sidewalk, so they have scheduled times. Likewise with the horse and carriage. Just, you know, some people are still a little
And with some
concerned.
of the venues as well. I know in the Artisan's tent, we are asking for social distancing, and we're asking people to be masked.
Yeah.
Where is the Artisan tent going to be
It's
located?
directly next to Kilwins,
You know,
in
with
the
Directly across
parking
the
to the
lot, right,
marshmallows, you know,
right next to
Oh, okay.
Kilwins.
right over there.
So in this year, you know, in years past, we've had these Hestia ornaments that are designed and made by Pat Darling, and
She makes.
yeah, so she makes the mold and she paints, and then Hestia will adopt the design and produce 100, 150 or so of these, and each one has a, you know, a beautiful Port Jefferson landmark. It's one of my favorites, which is Harborfront Park, and you know, these have become collector's items. This year we do have a 25th ornament, so that'll be available in some of the local merchants, like Sea Creations usually carries them. And a lot of people have collected these over the years. I know I'm missing a few, so I'm going to go out there and try and bargain and find the ones that I'm missing, and I'll definitely be getting my 25th annual, because, you know, 10, 20 years from now, I'm going to sell these on eBay. Hopefully not. Hopefully they stay in the family for a long time.
You know, one of the greatest things about this festival, and Margot just spoke about this, is when you see the little ones in their strollers. I mean, they're sticky from candy canes, but when they see other children in costume, and they see all of us speaking in a British accent, which is lovely, just the look on their faces makes every minute of hard work. So worth it.
No, I know, we,
It's fabulous.
people stop us in the streets and we take selfies. I think we're up to like hundreds and hundreds of selfies for the weekend. And we're goofing around trying to make people remember life is good. Terry, you were going to say something?
Yeah, we have. I just want to remind everyone, in addition to our street character performances, multiple areas throughout the village will have music, different music. We're using many stages for carolers and singers and musicians.
Yeah.
So when you walk through the village, you hear that.
Yeah, well,
So
Lisa
it's like
said the
all,
streets
it's all
come
your
alive.
senses. Yeah, you're going to hear
streets, the
singing and
stage.
music.
It actually, if anybody has ever been to Great Britain, and this is one of the things that I talk about when people come through the Artisan's tent, there were market days where people from the country would bring in their cloth to sell, farmers would bring their vegetables, and it really resembles a market day in West London. It's phenomenal. It's great.
And a little piece of history. In 2008, Dickens' hometown in England, I don't remember the name, but they have a Dickens festival. Go figure, right? And they scoured the world looking at thousands of other Dickens festivals and chose us. So they came over and shot their documentary comparing, the American version of what they do. So
Kudos to us.
that's how far
Well, we
this goes.
do
That's
get visitors from all over the world.
Yeah, we get about, in 2019, and I have a guesstimate here, it's between 55 and 60. We get people, I don't know if that's going to happen this year because of travel
Travels,
restrictions.
yeah.
But Germany, France, Italy, England,
Sweden.
in that order. Oh, Sweden, we had a
Yep,
Sweden?
that's
Oh,
right.
We
that's
had
right. Okay.
Czechoslovakia, we had Hungary, we had Germany.
And Poland. So this is really like becoming, it is an international event. It's quite amazing.
So
amazing.
I wanted to mention, the ferry gives 2 tours. So you get a couple can get on the ferry and take a ride for the day for the price of one to attract people to come from across the pond, if you will. But we also have Charles Dickens. Doesn't he actually come and read?
He does.
Well, I mean, we have to speak about the man. Where will he be?
Well, I'm happy to say that I usually play Charles Dickens, but as Charles Dickens, I'm in the command center all the time trying to keep everything pulled together.
Yes.
But we do have we do have volunteers like from Theater 3. Jeffrey Sanzel comes out and gives a short, Dickensian speech in the beginning of right after the parade at the opening ceremony.
And by the way, Theater 3's performance of A Christmas Carol is not to be missed. I don't care if you go, last year or the year before. Each year, I have tears in my eyes at the end of it. There is no doubt. Jeffrey Sanzel is probably one of the best Scrooges, and I watch every single version of A Christmas Carol every year.
Yeah.
He should be up there. They should do a remake, and Jeffrey should be.
How does he
definitely up
compare
there.
to Alistair Sim?
Well, you can't really see the top. His wig is a lot better than Alistair Sims'. His pot belly and.
I went,
yeah,
I
it's
think, in
great.
2019 with my family, and we had a great
Yeah.
time. Enjoyed the performance enormously.
The way they use that one stage with all the
Yeah.
different settings is, you just can't miss it really. And what, $25 to go see this beautiful, almost Broadway version?
Yeah.
It's unmatched.
Let's talk about
Agreed.
the Chimney Sweeps. I love them.
Yeah, my
Our
buddies.
chimney sweep.
They are such brilliant comic relief.
So, I decided after I give up the key to the village every year to the mayor and take a weekend off, I a few years ago decided to become chiminized. So I take my cape off and I get my top hat out and I get banged around with a lot of charcoal and my sweeps. And I go out and we play with George and Joseph, and we just really have been able to kind of loosen up and enjoy the streets and go into the establishments. And honestly, we light up everybody's face and take a great shot, and we've had a really great time doing that. It's been a lot of fun to work with George and Joseph.
You could really say, just with the people sitting around the table, it really does take a village.
Yeah.
It takes a village, it takes a community. We've all been through such tough times the last year and a half. To be able to bring the joy back to the community in a safe manner
Yes.
with common sense, I am so looking forward to this. I think every minute of hard work is absolutely worth it.
It's kind of funny because, the last 3 or 4 months, Alan, it's been build up Dickens, and that's why I said we can kind of feel the earth is rumbling under your feet. But, when you start off on that parade and you kick off the weekend, I think we all enjoy it.
Is a boil.
Yeah, you know that something pleasant and very enjoyable is going to happen for the weekend.
Yeah.
And one of the things I think we enjoy particularly is, as characters, and a few of the characters will get together and sing Christmas carols and the like, either on the streets or in restaurants, and sometimes get a chance to visit nursing homes.
That's great.
That's
And
fantastic.
it's really rewarding to share that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice to see people smiling
Yep.
and happy again.
Absolutely.
And out in the community. That's what we strive for.
And adults get to play.
Yes.
We get to have a play date.
Yes. It's fun. It's fun. So kudos to you, Alan.
And
Congratulations as the co-honoree.
Thank you.
My hat's off to
Oh,
you.
that's right. The two
for-
of us are the official honorees this year.
Oh,
Well,
congratulations.
Congrats.
Well deserved.
pat you on the
Well
back.
Okay,
deserved.
good. Well, actually,
It's been a while.
Margot is the honoree. I've been trying to struggle my way through getting it all produced, so I'm becoming the ornery. But
So yeah, it's been a privilege
Yeah.
to carry on the torch, founded by my mom 25 years ago, as a way to open up the village, for economic development purposes. A lot of times people come down here in the summertime, wintertime. We wanted to say our streets are here, and we use this perfect backdrop, and it was a concept born around a table similar to this, and it survived to this day. And I'm very proud of her. She's proud of me, and we live on in her tradition.
Beautiful.
And I expect she'll be here.
She'll be in the opening parade. She
Fabulous,
will be. Yes,
fabulous.
she'll be with us. Absolutely.
I moved out here 30 years ago, and I was living here maybe 3 months when I came up to Port for the first time. And it's very close, as I said before, to a British seacoast village.
Yeah.
And look at our history. We have the Washington Spy Trail. We have all these beautiful restaurants. We have Harborfront Park, the ice skating rink.
Yep.
I've never seen a more dynamic, active mayor in all my years. And this honor is so well deserved
Thank
for
you.
both of them.
Thank you
Yes.
very
It
much.
really
Yeah.
is.
Appreciate that. It's a dynamic, active village. So
Yeah, you have little choice.
yes, exactly. Or a perfect backdrop, shall I say?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
village is unique because I think we're the only village that really embraces the harbor and has access to the waterfront. I think that truly makes us unique, and I think that it makes it for a perfect backdrop for this festival.
It's
Yeah,
fabulous.
I think you've hit it something key there. I mean, the harbor with all of the boats in it, and then of course the ferry coming in and out, it just lends a certain little extra bit of excitement as people are hustling to get on and get off, and it's a rather
Hustle and bustle.
rather large vessel you see at the end of Main Street there. There
Yeah.
it goes.
Yeah, yeah.
Here it comes.
And you hear that horn.
Yep.
A practical point, Alan, that as these thousands of people are coming down, we do have a wonderful shuttle this year.
Yeah, that-
It's going
shuttle.
to be really
yes.
better than ever because it's going uptown to downtown and it will be trackable on anybody's phone.
So the
At
train station is
pjjitney.com.
probably a good spot to
Yeah.
park.
So that you could park anywhere uptown, but
mention that.
you're never going to be more than a shuttle ride away. There's 6 stops, so I did want to mention that. It's
Yeah,
important.
that's
good.
key.
thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. All of you around the table joining me. Good conversation, smiles, laughs, good information. Come on out. Thanks so much.
Get jiggy with it.